Yeah, in prison I like to listen to music. You know, whatever you're feeling, you could always find a country song to put the words to whatever mood you're in. Usually if you're feeling a little bit blue or a bit down, you'd always find some country song to make you laugh or cheer you up. My name is Mark Brandon Chopper Reid and I'm recording an album. And this is a film about the album I'm recording. Yippee-yi-yi, yippee-yi-yo! I was born in Carlton in Melbourne in November 17th, 1954. My upbringing wasn't any more violent or than anyone else's, you know, considering the times I grew up in. My mother was a devout Seventh-day Adventist. You can imagine the music I grew up with was all hymns. It was all, the only one I liked was Mahalia Jackson and Elvis Presley singing gospel music. My mother played the piano and she insisted that I learn to play the piano, and I was forced to do half an hour's piano practice every blooming morning. And I loathed it. I loathed it. I hated it. Oh, goodness gracious me. I hated that. Country music, there's honesty and truth in it, you know. I like the fact that you can understand the words. Cool Hand, the music Cool Hand Luke, 1967. I sort of lived for many years by those words. I'll carry the ranger freezes. As long as I got my plastic keys sitting on the dashboard of my car. I was 17. 16 when I went to the boys' home, and 17 when I went to prison. Altogether I did 23 years, 9 months. I've killed between 4 and 7 people, depending on the way you look at it. I mean, if you've been helped out by another person, you can't take all the blame yourself, can you? We used to kidnap well-to-do crooks, persuade them to part with their ill-gotten gains and give it to me. Well, we used to take their shoes off and tickle their toes with a handheld blowtorch. It was the only option left over to me. I couldn't join any of the services because I had flat feet. Flat feet. I've had a bad liver, and then I got cirrhosis of the liver, and then then I get these 3 arteries growing from the liver. And they said if they burst, you can bleed to death, right? I stayed in hospital for a few days and got out of hospital, and then I went to about 6 months later, 12 months later, I've gone to see this professor and give me a CT scan. They said, oh, all the tumours have grown back and you've got one as big as an apple growing on your adrenal gland. I didn't see one as big as an apple. They showed it to me. I said, it looks more like as big as a plum, not an apple. An apple's that big, a plum's that big. I said, where do you buy your apples from? Said the doctor. She was a professor, you know. I said, when's the last time you bought an apple? I said, you know, I said, they're not as, I said, an apple's as big as your fist. I said, I've got nothing as big as my fist going on my adrenal gland. This is looks more like the size of a small plum. Really, I think if there's a heaven and I go to it, I honestly believe that someone owes me an apology. I can look them all in the face and say, well, what the hell were you thinking about? What had I ever done to you characters to put me through all that? You know? What had I done to deserve put in a mental hospital at the age of 15? You know, what had I done to deserve that rubbish? I honestly believe there's a heaven, someone owes me an apology.